guys, welcome back to my channel. I am back with another review. This review is for the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 14 episode 15. So if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Let's just get right into this episode because there's a lot to discuss. So Sonia, Kenya, and Sheree kind of get into a bit of a heated argument at the dinner table because the day before, Sonia had told everyone that anybody can come with her to go to work. They just have to be ready at a certain time. And both Kenya and Sheree were ready at the right time. They were just sitting there waiting for Sonia to come and get them. But Sonia never came down to get them, and so they felt some type of way about that. And they also felt some type of way about the fact that Sonia never called them to apologize for leaving them stranded or call them to see what was going on, and so they felt like she just disinvited them, and so they ended up going on the boat instead. Now they had more fun on the boat than they would have had with Sonia, so I did feel like they were being a little bit dramatic at the dinner table, but I also feel like Sonia feels like she is not allowed to be addressed with anything that she does that people may see as wrong, even though she does things wrong a lot and then she tries to call other people out. So I do feel a little bit about Sonia when it comes to that, because she doesn't like to be confronted, but she likes to try to confront other people. Now, what happened during this dinner was Sonia's husband felt some type of way about Kenya and Sheree arguing with his wife, and so in his wife's defense, he stood up and he told them not to fuck with his wife and that he's not going to let that shit go down. Now, listen, I don't think that this man is wrong for defending his wife. I think you should defend your wife, but I feel like the way that he went about it was wrong. I don't think he should have stood up, because these are two women and they're both sitting down. You stood up, so it comes off a bit threatening maybe to a woman who doesn't have a man sitting beside her to defend her from you. So I do think that he didn't have to stand, and I also think he didn't have to swear when he was talking to them, but I do think that his intentions were right. I just feel like he handled the situation wrong. I feel like he should have just tried to calm the situation down rather than telling them, not to fuck with his wife or stand up in that situation, because then he's going to get a rep of being aggressive with women because of that situation. So yeah, I do think that he was right for defending his wife. I just think he went about it wrong. Now, Sanya did say some stuff about Sheree. She said that she felt like Sheree goes wherever the wind blows. She didn't say it to Sheree's face, but she definitely did say it. And listen, I feel like it's the pot calling the kettle black, because Sanya does the same exact thing. She did that when it came to Drew. Drew is not innocent by any stretch of the word, but she definitely did that when it came to Drew, because she didn't have a legitimate issue with Drew, and Drew was her friend. And if she did have an issue, I felt like she could have addressed it with her. But instead, she piggybacked off of other people's issues with Drew and then addressed her issues with her to other people. Then when it was time for Sanya to actually tell Drew what her issue was, she couldn't articulate what she was trying to say. So I just feel like, Sanya shouldn't be saying that about Sheree when she does the same thing. Now, the next day, Sonia had to work, and she put Marlo in charge of the activities until she got done working. And Candy and Kenya was not feeling this, Marlo being the temporary host, because they didn't understand why Sonia would do something like that, knowing that nobody is really getting along with Marlo at the moment. And listen, I agree, and I thought it was hilarious how when Marlo was trying to, be the host, she told everybody to come on, let's go, and everybody took their sweet time to get up and go with her, because nobody's really feeling Marlo. I mean, some people hang out with her, but you have to know that Marlo's fake, and then she uses her, childhood traumas as an excuse for her bad behavior, and I really don't like that she does that, which brings me to the conversation that Candy had with her friend Monyetta, because in this episode, Marlo ends up pulling Monyetta aside, and she tells her that she felt some type of way about Candy bringing up her nephews in the argument that they had at the dinner table, and she was basically playing victim and trying to say that, Candy came for her first. Now, I'm going to insert the clip in this video because of the fact that I know that Candy did not start that drama with Marlo. What happened was Marlo was coming at Ralph because Ralph said that he was no longer going to adopt Drew's oldest son, Jojo, because he had a conversation with the biological father, and the biological father said that he would be hurt if he did that, and so he decided not to do it. And so Marlo started coming at him because she felt like, it was wrong for him not to adopt his son, and then she started using the fact that she was a foster child growing up as an excuse to be coming at this man. And so, Candy said, why are you coming so hard at him like this when you're going through your own similar situation? Now, she didn't bring up exactly what happened. She just said you're going through your own stuff, but you're judging this man. That's what she said. She didn't say the nephew's names, and she didn't tell what the situation was. After Kandi said that, that's when Marlo said, you put your mom before your husband. So she took the low blows first. I don't feel like Kandi came at Marlo first, and I feel like everything that Marlo said to Kandi was something that she been wanting to say to her.
Weird to me that you going so hard about it when you yourself are going through your own situation.
Hurt. I thought you would be hurt.
Wait, so Marlo, this is one thing.
So then Monietta decides to pull Kandi to the side and tell her about her conversation with Marlo. And Kandi said that she's tired of Marlo using her childhood traumas as an excuse for her bad behavior, because she's been doing that for years. Every time she does something to people, she tries to say, well, I went through this and I went through that, and that's why I said this and that's why I said that. And at this point, Kandi's tired of it. And listen, I'm very similar to Kandi when it comes to that type of situation, because I do not like when people constantly make excuses for their bad behavior because they want you to feel bad for them and give them a pass. How many passes can you keep giving somebody before they keep on doing the same thing over and over again? So I absolutely agree with Kandi when it comes to that. They go out to lunch and it was an absolute disaster. They're all sitting at the table eating, and they're sitting under a tree, and there's these birds above them, and these birds start pooping all over the table that they're eating on. Now, I was laughing because Kandi stood up and she held her plate. One thing about Kandi is that she does not play when it comes to her food, and so she made sure she was able to eat while everybody else just sat there. Everyone ends up gathering up for the final dinner in Jamaica, minus Drew and Ralph. They were MIA for the entire episode because Drew's foot was swollen, and so she was unable to make it to any of the activities that they did for the day. I honestly think that she should have flew home rather than staying there because she couldn't participate in anything. But anyways, they didn't show up to the dinner, and what happened was Marlo and Kandi ended up having a conversation at the table where Marlo tried to apologize and take accountability for her part in the argument, but she did try to say that, Kandi took the low blow first, and I don't believe that Kandi did take the low blow. From looking at the clip that I have, I saw that all, Kandi did was say, why are you going so hard on Ralph when you have your own situation going on? Now, should Kandi have said that? No, and she did take accountability for that, and she did apologize to Marlo for saying that. But other than that, I don't feel like Kandi has anything to apologize for, because Marlo is the one who started taking low blows and digs at her first. So I just feel like Marlo likes to throw rocks and then play victim when people throw them back. And what Kandi said was that, listen, she's not Michelle Obama, and if you're gonna go low on her, she's gonna go low too. So I agree with that. I feel like you shouldn't keep letting people come for you all the time, and then their whole family and life is off limits, but yours is not. I just don't like that, and that's what was coming from Marlo in this particular conversation. They did decide to squash the beef, but I don't think that they'll ever trust each other, and I don't think that Kandi will ever be really cool with Marlo ever again. What I did think was funny, though, at this dinner was that Marlo and Kandi are not getting along with each other because they had that argument, but they came wearing the exact same shirt, just in different colors, and I thought that was kind of funny. And then Kenya ends up showing up at the table because, Kenya's always the last one to arrive, and she said to Kandi that she was going to buy that same shirt. So it would have been funny, honestly, to see all three of them wear that shirt at the table, knowing that, neither of them are getting along with Marlo at the time. Sonia decides to address her issues to Kenya because she feels like every time she talks, she feels like Kenya is making faces, and Kenya was on her phone while she was talking. Now, Kenya shut her up really quick in that situation because Kenya said that she never picked up her phone. Her phone's been in her purse the entire time while they were at dinner. And it's like, we know Kenya makes faces, though. We definitely know that she can't control her facial expressions. If she don't like you and you're talking, or she feels like you're lying or you're full of shit, you're going to be able to see it all over her face. And listen, I can relate to Kenya when it comes to that because I can't control my facial expressions when somebody's talking and I know that they're lying. Like, you can see it all over my face. So I definitely relate to Kenya when it comes to that. Now, Sonia has a problem with being able to articulate exactly what her issues are with a person. This happened when she was trying to address her issues with Drew, and now it's happening when she's trying to address her issues with Kenya. And Kenya actually shut her up for a second during this conversation that they had. And so I feel like Sonia needs to really really work on expressing what her problems are with people. Now, she tried to say that Kenya is always doing the Kenya to her every time she speaks. And I thought it was funny because Kenya was like, was I doing the Kenya? Did I get up and twirl? Did I get up and spin around and say, go on with the wind, fabulous? And listen, you have to love Kenya because even though she could be petty and she could be messy, I really do like her. I think she's hilarious. I think she's beautiful. And she's definitely one of my favorites on this show. Now, Kenya and Sonia did end up making up during this dinner, but listen, I feel like Sonia cannot handle Kenya right now. She's probably going to need another season to be able to go toe-to-toe with her. At the very end of this episode, Marlo and Candy ended up making up at the airport over some KFC chicken, okay? Because they say that the KFC chicken in Jamaica tastes way better than it does in the United States. And my cousin, who travels to Jamaica pretty often, says that she loves their KFC chicken as well. So I believe it when they say that it tastes better than it does here in the United States. But Candy was at the airport and she smelled the chicken that Marlo had, and she went up to Marlo and told her that she better be lucky that she loves chicken because she wanted a piece of the chicken. And because she was mad at Marlo, she knew that the only way she was going to be able to, get a piece of the chicken was to be able to make up with Marlo. So they ended up making up over this KFC chicken, which I thought was funny. I do think that it's cool that the two of them made up, but I don't think they'll ever be friends again. And I definitely think that they'll probably go at it again at some point this season. So those are my thoughts on this week's episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. I like reading you guys' thoughts on these episodes because some of you guys write such good reviews that you guys should start your own review channel. But let me know what you guys think down below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more videos. I appreciate everyone who has subscribed. I'm getting closer and closer to reaching my goal, so I want to thank you all for that. And until next time, I will talk to you guys in my next video.